Hi guys, Nisar here from DataMites. So today's interview question is that what is a big theta notation? So in the previous lectures, we have seen about what is big O notation or big ordo notation and what is big omega notation. And we got to know that, though it be a big theta or a big ordo or big omega, it describes the limiting behavior of the function fn. So big theta is also describes the limiting behavior of a function fn when the input tend towards a specific value or infinity. And we got to know that when we talk about big O notation, so big O notation specifically tells me about the it tells me about that the upper bound of any functionality, and big omega notation tells us about the lower bound of any functionality. Big theta is the combination of big O and big omega. What I mean by say that if I simply take my this is my xy axis, so this is number, and this is nothing but time complexity. And let's say we have a graph like this, okay? Let's say this is another function. And let's say we have the function. And in the middle, this green one, this is my function f of n. And this one is my c1 times a function g of n. And this one is c2 times function g of n. So g of n is the same, but this time in the constants is different. Previously it was c1, now this time this is c2. And of course, there is a point we call this to be n naught. So the function f of n is equal to theta g of n. What does it signify? That there is some c1 and c2. Previously it was only one c, now we have two constants, so there is some c1 c2 which is greater than 0 and some n naught, this n naught. Of course this is also greater than 0, such that for point which is greater than n naught, or the value of n which is greater than n naught, your function fn is less than or equal to one of the upper bound function c1 multiplied by c1 times g of n, and your function fn is greater than equal to a function which is the lower bound to it, c2 times g of n. So you see, previously we have either the upper bound or the lower bound. Now this time we have both the thing with us. We have upper bound and the lower bound as well. So essentially the theta of gn, defines lower and upper bound for the function fn in your big theta notation. I hope this tutorial was useful for you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.